name is Alison and I work for Paddy Power Betfair in the Dublin, Ireland office. Okay, the team that I work for is called Quants and Analytics, and we're kind of a team of mathematicians, statisticians, that sort of thing. So what I'm going to do today is tell you a little bit about the team. I'll talk to you a bit about what we do. So one of the big things we would do is build sports models, and I'm going to bring you through the tennis model that we built last year to give you an idea of how that works. And I'll also just start by kind of explaining a little bit about probability and how we calculate prices, how betting works really, okay? And then we will have another quiz. So there will be some questions dotted throughout, or well, some answers I suppose I should say, with another ticket then to win at the end. Okay? All right, so like I said, I'm going to start by just talking a little bit about the basics of probability and betting and how that works. So we're going to return to a coin toss, so kind of all reliable probability metric or space, I suppose. So obviously we can have heads or tails, okay? And we can toss the coin, see what we get, tails, toss it again, keep going and going. More times that we do that, the closer we'll get to 50-50 heads or tails. Yeah? No? Nobody arguing with me on that? No? Okay, so how do we, say we were to put up a market on a coin toss. You know, it might be a strange thing to do, but let's pretend that we're going to do it. So we have the probability, the true probability, 50-50. So then we have to come up with a price or odds, you know, same thing, that we will give to the customer based on this event, all right? So that this price, this first example, we're just going to look at a fair price. So that means that there's no margin built in for us, and we're not trying to make any money off this. Maybe this is a game between friends, just having some fun, tossing some coins. Okay, so we have 2.0 as our price. So what that means is for every, say, one RON that you bet, you will get your RON back, and you will win a RON if it comes up heads and you bet on heads, okay? All right, so we'll set up the game. We're going to toss that coin 100 times. Okay, we're not actually going to do it, but we'll just imagine that we're going to toss it 100 times, and we'll have bets to the value of 1 RON, 100 of those, okay? And we're going to split them evenly, 50 bets on heads and 50 bets on tails. So that means that we've taken in 100 RON now, okay? So our customers have given us 100 RON, and now we have to actually carry out the event, see what happens, and pay the money out. So this is what the payout then looks like, right? So we have 25 winning bets, okay? So we're going back to our true probability of 50%. So 50 bets, half of them are going to win. This means that our payout for all our winning head bets, paying out 2 RON for each winning bet, 25 winning bets, payout of 50 RON for all the winning head bets, 50 RON for all the winning tail bets. So that gives us a payout of 100 RON. We took in 100 RON, giving out 100 RON, we break even, all right? So now, we are in the business of trying to make money. So what we do is we add in margin, okay? So we don't offer a fair price, right? You're building in a little bit of margin, so we're still offering entertainment. Basically, people are given that betting opportunity and that chance to win money, but we'll just take a small bit off the top. So now we'll look at a price of 1.9, okay? So in this instance, you get your 1 RON back, and then you get 0.9 of a RON. That's the bit that you win if your bet comes in, all right? Exact same situation then. Got our bet split evenly across heads and tails. This time, though, our payout is a little bit different, right? So for all the winning head bets, this time we're paying at 47.50, okay? And same for the tail bets. So that gives us a total payout of 95. We took in 100. We make 5 RON. Great. Okay. Now, so that's kind of everything going well. We knew the actual probability of that coin toss, the 50-50. So now, what if we didn't know the price? All right. So, say the underlying probability, the true probability of the coin toss is 50-50. But for some reason, maybe we've never seen a coin before, or maybe this isn't coin, this is a football match or a tennis match, and we don't know anything about the players, and we priced it up completely wrong, right? So we priced it up as 4.0 for heads and 1.33 for tails. So we think the tails is way more likely to happen. If tails happens, we're only going to give you back 133 when you've given us 1, so we're not paying out an awful lot. Whereas heads, you know, you give us 1, we're going to give you back 4. Okay, we think it's got way less of a chance of happening. So in this case, our payout for our heads, we're going to pay out 100 RON, because the true probability is still 50-50. So still going to have 25 winning head bets. So we'll pay out 100 RON for the winning head bets, 33.25 for the winning tail bets. Total payout, 133.25. That's more than we took in. So we're going to lose money if we get our prices really wrong. Okay? So that's just to kind of give you an idea of pricing accuracy and why it is so important, because that is something that the models will help to give us. All right, so we'll move on then to actually talking about the models. Okay, so first of all, what am I talking about? What is this model that I'm referring to? So it's basically a mathematical or a statistical model, okay? And what we're trying to do for, say, a particular sport, so say for tennis, we're trying to think of all the events that could happen in the game, and we want to give probabilities to each of those, okay? So we want to use past data to model those probabilities and basically mimic what happens in real life, all right? Who's doing this? So who is in my team? So we're all kind of very numerate backgrounds: maths, statistics, engineering, that sort of thing. The models can get kind of complicated, so these are the kind of backgrounds that work best for it. And why? Why do we need these models? What do they actually give to us? Okay, so this is a screenshot from a Paddy Power website during a tennis match, so Raonic versus Muller. Okay, so obviously when you're betting, you can bet on Raonic to win or Muller to win. Okay, but you can also bet on all these other things here. So to win the second or the fourth game in the second set, to win the 6th point in the third game in the second set. All right, and you can just keep going and going, and all the possibilities that you can think of. We want to build a model that'll let a customer bet on it, okay? So we call these markets, all right? So what we want to do with the models is create as many markets or betting opportunities for our customers so that when they go onto our website, there's loads and loads of product up there, loads of choice, and they can bet on what they feel is exciting or what they think they might have an opinion on or whatever the case may be. So this is then a screenshot from the Betfair website, so same story, okay? So we're doing this across the two platforms. They're there before the match starts. As the match starts, then they're updating based on how the match is progressing. So this is not something that you're going to be able to do manually for all these markets. We have a couple hundred tennis matches a day, so you need a model, something automated that's going to generate all these prices for you. So we're actually going to look at an example and talk about how the model actually works, give you a bit of an insight into that. So we're going to look at an example of Halep versus Kirstia. I think I've nailed the pronunciation there, but let me know if not. So how do we start with the model? So the first thing that actually happens is we get an opinion from the traders, or what we would say the experts maybe in that particular sport. So they will actually tell us what we call the match price. So this is basically how likely each player is to win. So in this example, Halep versus Kirstia, the traders will know the two players. They will have an opinion on them, whatever surface they're playing on. The trader is kind of the one factoring that in. So they will say maybe Halep is 60% and Kirstia is 40%, something like that. So the model then takes those inputs, okay, and it's a simulation-based model, so it will simulate out the game, all right? So I'm sure you've all played or watched a game of tennis, so you know it goes from point to point, and that's how the model is structured. So it will keep simulating out points, making decisions on what happens on each point, so who wins it and who loses it. Keeps doing that until the game is finished, until the set is finished, and eventually until the match is finished. All right, so then we'll have a simulated match. We'll have a winner. We'll have a set one winner. We'll have a, whatever that scenario was, 6th point, fourth game, second set winner, and we can just look at that, okay? And we do that 20,000 times, all right? And we will then count up all the results and see what the probabilities are. So if Halep wins in 15,000 of those 20,000 matches, we say she's a 70% chance of winning. So all the modelling that really happens in this goes on in the simulate next point node. That's where things kind of get interesting, I suppose, and that's where we would spend our time looking. So again, what we're looking at here, it's again following the structure of the game, because like I keep saying, we're trying to mimic real life with the model, all right? So Halep is serving. What's the first thing that happens? She has to get the first serve, first of all, right? She's going to win the point, might win off the second serve, but first thing that she wants to try do is win the first serve. If she gets her first serve, she has some sort of chance of acing it, or maybe she'll win it from a rally. Otherwise, maybe it goes to second serve, maybe she double faults, she's not playing too great, having a bad day. We don't know. So what we're trying to do is take into account the probability of all of these things happening, okay? And that's based on that opinion that the traders gave, the experts. It's based on maybe the surface they're playing on, and then it's really based on how the match is progressing. So how are they doing so far in the match? Are they up a set? Are they, whatever the case may be? And we would call these effects. So basically we bring in loads of different effects and we see how they affect the probability of the match. So I'm just going to finish up by showing you one of these effects. So this one is just aces, okay? So this is looking at players' probability of scoring an ace based on the number of aces that they have scored up to that point, all right? So that's what we have along the x-axis, the number of aces that they've scored so far, and then their probability that they're going to score an ace on this point. So the blue line is the data. So you can see upward trend. As they score more aces, they're more likely to score another ace. So they're on a roll, right? Okay, they're playing well. The model here has no idea about the aces. Okay, so it doesn't know in this instance that the player has already had 10 aces in this match. Okay, so it's not doing very well at predicting the probability of an ace in this situation. It's really flat. So what we do then is we tell the model, this is how many aces we've had so far, and this is how you should react to it. And then we end up with something more like this. We'll probably tweak it a little bit, but just bring the model to sit closer to what the data is saying. Because really, all that we're trying to do with these models is mimic what's happening in real life. And yeah, that's it. Any questions? We can go straight to the quiz if not.
How much time do you spend running the model 20,000 times?
Okay, so first of all, when we're testing it ourselves, it's not necessarily super fast. We'd like to try to have it not taking too long, because otherwise it takes up a lot of our time. But then when it actually goes to production, Fiona and Rob will be able to give you a better idea.
I have a question. Who's doing the checkpoints? Because I'm just curious that some errors came up, and how you try to avoid them.
So do you mean like in the pricing of the model? So that's where the traders would really come in. So before anything would actually go live, the traders will spend some time looking at the model and saying, trying to pick holes in it. So what we always kind of say is traders are experts. They are generally fans of betting themselves, and they will be looking to try find holes in the model. And if they find them, when they find them, they feed that back to us, and we will try and improve the model. Yeah.
The model live? Do the experts adjust the rates during the competition?
Yeah, so the model itself will update. So for tennis, we'll get a feed in. It'll tell us how the game is progressing, and the prices will update. And then if the traders feel for some reason that the model isn't quite doing what they wanted to do, or say, for example, there's an injury, the model might not have any idea about it, the traders can adjust the prices then themselves.
Did I get the graphs right? Should the model be above for the productivity, let's say? So the more money, if the model is above, then you have more money, no? Shouldn't that be the target?
No, because if the model is sitting above, then you're overestimating the probability of an ace, which means that you're underestimating the probability of something else happening. So your prices so you'll end up being too short on, or you'll end up offering too big a price on something else. So you just want to get it as close as you can. Yeah. No, it's close. So you're just looking for gaps and trying to bring them together. Okay?
Isn't it the strategy to offer better odds on something than other, like bet 365 or something?
Yeah.
Like, doesn't the business use this as a business strategy?
Yeah, absolutely. So what the models themselves are trying to do is come up with, do you remember at the start I was talking about the coin toss and what the true probability is, so the 50-50, and then we can make a choice what price we want to actually offer on that. So first we did the fair price, 2.0, and then we looked at 1.9 where we were taking some margin, but it's still based on that 50%, that true probability. So if we're trying to offer generosity to customers, what we would do is you'll adjust that 1.9, but your true opinion is still based on that 50-50, and that's what the models are trying to give you. And the more accurate you get those probabilities out of the model, the better generosity you can offer to customers, because you have a better idea of what the true probability is, so you don't feel like you need to give yourself too much room, too much margin, because you're pretty sure of your opinion. So, yeah. Okay, great. We'll give the quiz a go. Really? Blown over. So, first question. Who are the players playing in the match presented? Okay, so nearly 100%. Top of the leaderboard. Where are we? How many simulations are in the tennis model? Okay, very good. And please state the effect presented in the tennis model. So the one that I showed. Very close. We have a winner. Yep, this one there. There you go. Well done. Congratulations. Okay, thanks very much, everybody.